and welcome to Cheap Joe's Art Stuff. My name is Julie and I'm here to impart some knowledge to you today via a 2-minute art tip. And today's tip, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a recent experience I had at my own art workshop. We had a live in-person workshop here at Cheap Joe's, and I had a whole studio full of students and we had a fantastic time. Partied it up and played in the paint for 3 straight days, and it was a heck of a lot of fun. But one of the things that kind of resonated with me after that was that I realized how often my students were asking, like, how did you do that? I don't know how you're getting, you know, those kinds of things. And they were also attributing a lot of the results I was getting to me. And they're not me. So I wanted to kind of show you a prime example of like how getting to know your materials like on a really confident basis changes the way that you work and you paint. It isn't a short project. This isn't something that you can just kind of whip out there and then like make it happen and stuff. This is going to be kind of like almost like a relationship building exercise where you spend some serious time with your colors. Like just for the workshop, I redid my entire palette so it wasn't such a mess and that people could see exactly what I was doing. You can see that everything is like overly labeled and, you know, and super organized and stuff. And it was so that, you know, they could see, okay, this is what she's grabbing, this is what she's doing and stuff like that. But it wasn't, you know, for a sales standpoint, it was so that you can see exactly what I'm doing step by step by step. Here's one example. Like, for instance, with this one, this was a demo that we did inside class. And this area that you can see that's left in here was actually coastal fog. The whole underlayment, this wet wash was created with this color, coastal fog. And then we laid in more different color with Pat's Coastal Blue, which was this, but the students were particularly interested in this gray that came about. Well, it's not actually gray. This is actually a mix of the Pat's Coastal Blue and a little bit of Moonglow thrown into that wet wash to allow it to kind of like mix and do what it's going to do. And the only reason I know that that's going to be interesting is that I've had a lot of experience with Pat's Coastal Blue. It has a good bit of titanium in it, so it has a certain opacity, this kind of cloudiness to it. Whereas Moonglow has this really beautiful kind of smokiness to it. But that's more on the transparent side. So you get this kind of clash between those two things existing in the same space. So they're kind of like a little bit jockeying for space, establishing, you know, and we're moving things around with some water. When the wash didn't kind of come out like I totally loved, I took my spray bottle and reactivated it, and then I had some cool things happen in there where the water was hitting that partially dried watercolor. Then, you know, further down we had you know, some cool stuff happening with the bluestone, which is an American Journey color. Now that one's more granulating, and on this cold pressed surface, this is you know, Kilimanjaro 300-pound cold pressed bright white. With that existing wash of the coastal fog, it's just gonna start to do some stuff. It's gonna start to play around, it's gonna move, it's gonna separate. And so with that, we have these undulations in color that I literally had nothing to do with. I literally did nothing other than just let the colors exist, play, mix. And then at the bottom we have some Yeliseyev, you know, Indigo Dark, which is, it's just so rich and beautiful and stuff like that. But it's that relationship with your color that you have to have in order to get this stuff to happen, because like you're just going to have to practice and play. But here's a tool. You have heard me give the whole spiel about color cards, and I'm telling you, I'm not playing. I actually redid mine recently because I realized so many of them were like bent and messed up. And then also a lot of colors that I just stopped using as much. So yes, I have them around, but these are really the ones that these are my go-tos. I use them all the time. So I have a palette of neutrals, you know, that are all kinds of cool. I have my warms and all that good stuff. And I have my cools. And on the back, because these are brand new, I'm going to start putting my favorite color mixes. So let's say that I have an Andrews turquoise like this one, but then I have a couple of great combos that I use with this. I would flip this over and then put my color combos and notes on the back for behavioral things that I noticed, like, oh, well, this one, it actually fights a little bit with this color, but it creates a great effect, blah, blah, blah. So that's what this whole thing is, building yourself a knowledge library that you can go to and remind yourself, like, ooh, that was really cool, I love the way that worked, you know, these two things like do fun stuff together, and those kind of just unique qualities to each of the little personalities that are on your palette. So check them out. You can do this with, you know, oil and acrylic as well. We've talked about making color cards out of the little teeny mini canvases, which is super handy. Check it out. Definitely invest the time. Really put in some research, because you have no idea how much this will benefit you, your painting, and your confidence level as you're creating moving forward. So we hope this is helpful and hope that you enjoy.